Hey there, StarCraft fans. It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. From Katowice, the group stages, it's going to be Serral versus SOS. Here on Nightshade, the latter edition. Top left-hand corner is the red Zerg player hailing from Finland. He is a former BlizzCon champion. It is Serral. And in the bottom right-hand corner, it is the Korean Protoss player. He's wearing blue and he is also a former BlizzCon champion. It is SOS. I am expecting a lot from this replay, you guys. Man, it's been a while since the cast came between Serral and SOS. It's a PvZ. I've noticed your comments saying that PvZ is kind of lacking on the channel recently, so this is a PvZ for everyone who enjoys the matchup. It's my favorite matchup, you guys. But ZVT these days is a little bit longer, a little bit of a longer macro style than ZVP is. I will not tell you, well, I can't tell you how many times I looked for a ZVP and they were like 5 minutes long. And I'm like, huh, that's not very interesting. And this is a longer one. So here we go. Probe scouting here is SOS 16, 18, 17 here. Is Serral Gateway expanding? Here is SOS. If you want to know how to play like the pros, go to lotv.spawningtool.com. Find a build that suits you and work with it. Memorize it until you can do it in your sleep. And I guarantee you will get a promotion if you follow that build on that matchup. Unless, you know, you're already a GM player, because there's nowhere to get promoted. If you're a GM player, well, and if you're a Masters player as well, build order doesn't really get you to GM. So, okay, a Diamond player or lower, follow a build order, and you'll get a promotion, probably. Huh. That's not nearly as strong as I wanted it to be. This probe playing the minerals game. Just, you know, messing with the AI of the drones here. Just making sure that the income is a little bit weird here for Serral, but Serral doesn't care much at all. He has spare APM as well. No third hatch before the queens, so not too risky here. That's usually, I think, a ZVT thing anyway, trying to sneak out a third hatch before you start your queens and your speed, but this is a little bit safer and just as economical, I feel like. Anyway, First Adept, moving on in, and First Adept has an important job. Gonna try to see, what is the saturation on the natural base? Is there a lair coming up anywhere? Is there a roach warren? These are the things you need to see. Otherwise, I don't really care. Oh, the block, though. What? I mean, this is a decent delay, but that was some lost resources for effectively nothing. Are you still blocking SOS? That's dirty, man. And meanwhile, the Adept gets in here. There's no lings to save these drones. So have to turn themselves into spores, unfortunately. And the Adept does manage to get out with all of 0 HP. By that, I mean 5 HP. One more hit from that queen would have killed her. I think, actually, do queens do 4 damage? I think queens do 4 damage with their ground attack. So maybe not dead, but very close to dead, regardless. Wow, that was kind of interesting stuff. So both players losing some resources here. Serral actually losing a little bit more, having to turn those drones into spores. And the delay on the third hatch a little bit here. So, SOS loses, canceling a couple of pylons, and additionally losing that probe. That counts too, but I don't know. I kind of feel like overall SOS is a little bit ahead, just based on what I'm looking at right now. The income tab, which if you haven't seen this on the channel before, it's because I kind of forgot it was there. You can only do it with WCS Game Heart modded replays, which means somebody had to add the Game Heart mod to the game before it was played. This cannot be applied retroactively. This is a bunch of Adepts, man. This isn't even Resonating Glaives Adept. Maybe it is. That Twilight Council could get Resonating Glaives started. And it is. Oh, SOS is going Resonating Glaives. Serral's got a Roach Warren in production, which is going to help here. But not for right now, unfortunately. It's going to have to be Lings and Queens. 18 Lings in production. He knows what's coming. He hasn't saturated his third base as a result. So he's going to try to deal with this, with the Queens, with the Lings. Should be able to do it, especially because they don't have Resonating Glaives. These Lings are looking for these Adepts. You think they can do it? Oh my gosh, this is forcing a recall. That's a recall if ever I've seen one. Does he have a recall available? Or maybe just a shade out? Okay, a couple Adepts die. Don't accomplish a lot here, unfortunately, and they're forced to retreat. Now, Roach is already in production. I don't know what this Resonating Glaives attack is really going to do for SOS. There's already Roaches in production. I mean... did get the Adept that was wounded. Nice micro from Serral there, focusing the wounded Adept. Just like a wounded gazelle goes down on the savannah. Robotics on the way. Robo coming in for SOS. Probably going to be some Immortals to deal with the roaches that are in production. It's kind of a game of cat and mouse right now. Serral doing stuff to respond to what SOS is doing. And that response is being responded to by SOS in turn. So I don't know who's going to win this thing. I honestly don't. I mean, I'm looking at two players who, again, I said are past BlizzCon champions each. Both elite. These Lings don't know what to do with themselves. If there aren't any Adepts for them to kill, so they're going to try to kill this Stalker, but whatever. Here come the Adepts. Did they finish Resonating Glaives? They finished Resonating Glaives, but there are so many Queens and Roaches. They're maybe going to try to kill the third base, but, like, no? This is really annoying stuff for a player like me who's a total scrub. But for SOS, it's not as bad. Or for Serral, rather, it's not as bad. Yeah, I mean, Serral, he got Roaches out in time. I am honestly kind of shocked he let that Resonating Glaives upgrade finish because I don't know what they're accomplishing here. I really don't. They're putting some pressure on Serral. They're kind of preventing him from saturating his third base for now, but I think he's okay with that. He can make up for that in a second here. He's sitting, well, is he making any drones? He's not making any drones. I wonder what he's up to here. And yeah, I mean, Adepts just keep falling. Resources are a little bit higher on the resources lost here for Serral, 1,200 to 1,100, but I really think Serral's okay. SOS is putting some pressure on for sure. He's following this up with a Warp Prism attack, which this Queen is absolutely prepared to see because this Overlord spotted it coming. Two Queens, actually. I don't know about this Warp Prism guy. Warp Prism Pilot, no. Warp Prism Pilot, do not unload here. Do not. Okay, maybe you're going to get a drone or two. But I think these Adepts are in here for the long haul and are probably going to be killed. I don't think they can get back in that Warp Prism. Yeah, they're trying to shade out. The Warp Prism is going to die. Good grief, that was brutal stuff. That Adept gets wrecked by multiple Roaches. I mean, SOS got a third base coming in, but I don't know. It's 56 to 30 army supply in favor of Serral. He's got a lot of Roaches to respond to those Adepts, and he's doing all right. He's going for a Spire, recognizing his opponent did not open with Stargate. So Mutalisks are going to be better than they otherwise would if there were a million Phoenix in the sky. Third base coming in, not really directly defended, but there's an army kind of splitting the difference here, watching that front door of the natural and the third base from Serral. Yeah, I mean, at some point... Oh, DTs, of course. Why not make DTs? Did he skip detection? Dude, Serral's like, I don't need detection. Why would I need detection? Obviously, we're really far away from DT technology. Not true, by the way. There's a Twilight Council, obviously, so a Templar Archives is not that far away. So finally, an Overseer comes up. That DT dies. This DT's trying to hide in the corner. This DT's trying to hide in the corner. Those Adepts are trying to be hide in the corner. But all in all, 8 drones have gone down. So SOS has done a pretty good job at just kind of messing with Serral's economy here a bit. Not a lot. He hasn't gotten a ton of damage done. He's killed a total of 10 drones in 7.5 minutes. There was that theory where I felt like Zerg players were going to lose if they killed 10 workers in the first, or they lost 10 workers in the first 10 minutes. But, don't know. I don't know if that's the case. We've just seen Raynor recover from that really well, and Serral is on Raynor's level, if not further along, so I'm not really worried about him here. Hallucinated Phoenix coming in. Was he? Wait. He was making a Spire. Wasn't he making a Spire? Are you guys like, Falcon, you dummy? I thought I saw a Spire. Did he cancel it? Am I hallucinating? I might be hallucinating. It's fine. Sometimes that happens. Melee attack on the way from Serral. Working on another Evo. That's a Baneling nest. Fantastic. I do like Banelings pretty much in all matchups. And here comes a pretty darn scary Stalker, Immortal, Sentry, Adept style play. So you're going to want Ravagers. If your opponent's going for a lot of Sentries like this, Ravagers are what save you. Back before Ravagers existed, this kind of play was extremely effective and really hard for Zerg players to hold. I died to it a lot. Look at this DT hanging out. He's like, hey guys, what's up? Lings. Oh, they got into the third base. Sure, why not? Got in third base, killed 4 probes, trying to take that cannon. Maybe. Oh, nice body block with the Stalker Zone. None of those Lings escape. SOS says, you're trapped in here with me. Serral's still not taking a 4th. I worry about this for Serral, you guys. I mean, this is a traditional 4th base location on this map. This somewhat viable, too. Not really, though. Got Changelings moving on out. Creep spread not super ideal either, just because of all the pressure SOS has been putting on Serral so far. Templar Archives on the way. All right. I said Templar Archives, didn't I? I meant Dark Shrine. Right? Dark Shrine is not that far away from from ye old Twilight Council. Brain, let's get back on track here. We got this thing. Let's go. Is he trying to expand down here? Oh, he did expand up to the north. Okay, so 4th base on the way, but SOS has been 3-basing it for some time now. I don't like this for Serral. He has better income, but SOS has had some mostly better income for the last 10 minutes or so, according to that income tab, which is so darn handy. I'm really glad I started using it fairly recently. Again, only on games played with the Game Heart mod. So the Stalkers, not really friends with any of this. The Stalkers are bad against Roach Ravager Ling in general, which is what the Immortals and the Sentries are for. I can't believe this DT is still hanging out. He's got 2 kills, but he hasn't really... I mean, moving in seems fairly viable. I don't know. How worried are we about Queens if you're a Dark Templar? Probably a lot worried, huh? Oh my gosh, forces to cancel on the 4th. That's massive. Serral's a 3-basing Zerg at 10 minutes. Now our DT friend does come in here. We shall name him Steve. The engagement over here, pretty scary. Coming from all sides, though. Baneling's trying to get on top of those. Oh, the sentries took care of them quite nicely. Very nicely done. We got some Roaches and Ravagers down here at the 3rd base. Baneling's causing a major problem for the economy down here. And both players taking hits. Losing the 4th base that was still coming up for Serral. The 3rd base for SOS gets crushed. He is down to 46 workers, which is not where you want to be. And Serral does manage to chase away the army, too, which is really nice. Some Resonating Glaive Adepts sneaking on into the natural base. Ling's getting a surround on them, but Resonating Glaive Adepts do pretty well against Lings in numbers. But every single Adept does get killed before they can shade out of there. Nice pickup by Serral, replacing his 4th base. SOS's economy is not healthy. He has lost 22 probes. 15 drones have gone down. This has been a bloodbath of a first 10 minutes of this ZVP. I am enjoying it immensely. I hope you are, too. Hit that like button if you're enjoying it. It just helps the algorithm notice me. I mean, I ended up getting, like, what did they say? They sent me an email that said I got, like, 40% more subscribers last month than I have in average months over the last year. So that's kind of massive, I would say. So the like button helps. Also, hit that subscribe. So more DTs coming in. If you want daily StarCraft, it's a good place to be here on this channel. By the way, YouTube does this thing where if you haven't watched an upload of somebody for a couple days, they just stop showing them to you on the recommended page, which I find super stupid annoying. So just know this. I have been posting a StarCraft upload every single day for 4 or 5 years, okay? If you're like, dang, where did Falcon go? He stopped uploading. No, I didn't. I'm still here. You can come right to my channel. It's very easy to get to, youtube.com/FalconPaladin. And there will be new content every single day, I promise. Ah, those adepts really should not have stopped there. Yeah, pick up. There you go. Get on out. Get on out! Serral being a little bit aggressive. Actually using Corrosive Bile on force fields, which I always like to see. That was the original intent of Corrosive Bile. Zerg players were like, we have no way to break force fields until Ultras come out. This is garbage. And then, ta-da, we got Ravagers. And then we didn't use them against force fields as much for some reason. God, these Queens, though. These Queens, though. He's going for more melee attack upgrades here. Serral is. I mean, at this point, I think the game has largely stabilized. Both players are pretty even on everything. Serral's got a lead in a couple categories, but overall, nice. That was a beautiful pickup from SOS. Holy crap. Didn't lose a single adept there. Beautiful timing from him. SOS doesn't have a 4th base, but again, that's fine because Serral doesn't have a 5th, so we're pretty even across the board. Serral's had a better income over the last 5 minutes or so, which is going to help him get up to being maxed out and get those upgrades rolling. It is strange to me. You know what? The +2 melee does actually allow Banelings to one-shot probes. So I think that's the full intent of getting +2 melee. He's not going to go for Ultras or anything. He's going for +1 missile attack finally with all the Roaches and Ravagers that he has out. Finally going for the +1 attack, which is hilarious. This DT, I think, was just patrolling along the ramp. He's dead, though, because now he's dead. Changelings show up as blue on the map, which is really frustrating. I wish they were red. They'd be easier to spot because they're Serral's units. They're not SOS's units. I know they show up as blue for SOS, but I don't care as the replay guy. Oh, no, a free Immortal. Oh, save him. Oh, the +2 is too much, and the Immortal does go down. SOS jumping to try to take that 4th base down. If he gets the 4th base, he's in a great spot, like a winning the game kind of a spot here. A bit of that, anyway. I don't know. SOS isn't getting in here, and Serral's not killing this army either. Unless he can get a wraparound on it, which I'm not sure that he can. These banelings, though, taking some cannon hits. Taking some cannon hits. The probe pull is masterful. And 5 probes die, but that could have been a lot worse. Zealot's just kind of running in. Charging on in there, I would say, with their +2 attack, which is fantastical. Yeah. I mean, Serral can hold this off, is what I'm trying to say here. SOS did take a 4th Nexus. It's gone. And a bit of an attack down here at the 3rd, too. SOS kind of getting split apart right now, but he is getting direct hits on this 4th base, which is massive. Serral actually pulling back here. You can't lose this hatch. Although I suppose if you kill SOS's 3rd base, you can. What a crazy go-nuts ZVP this has been. Holy cannoli. Yeah, trying to get the banelings to crash on anything here, specifically the Zealots. There we go. And actually not bad against Stalkers either. Not super ideal versus Stalkers, but not bad. And SOS's 3rd base and 4th base are gone. It's 56 to 21 workers. This is bad for SOS right now. Archon surrounded and killed. This 4th hatch has 55 hit points. If these Stalkers focus down the hatch, they can kill it. There was a minute there. There was a window wherein they could do it, but no. And that is your good game of our sneaky twofer between these two players. Wow. Serral gets the win. SOS taps out in 16 minutes and 22 seconds. Shoo! What? Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous game. Serral, I mean, he didn't raffle stomp here, right? He ended up losing, what, 30 drones in the first 15 minutes? That's a lot of workers. But the problem was these little counters, these little bit of counterattacks Serral was able to get up to, killing probes, killing bases. SOS, I mean, did it really come down to this? If he'd been able to kill this hatchery, does he stay in for longer? What do you guys think? I think he probably stays in for longer. Yeah, I mean, it's 100 to 32 supply. Like, Serral's not killing it here, right? He's got 50 workers, 40 army supply, and 100 total supply. But SOS is down to 32 supply, 11 army supply, and 21 workers, and effectively has mined out of his natural base and his main. So, yeah, he was done. But, man, killing this hatch. Don't know. Hard to say. Resources lost are about even, which is really bad for SOS. You want that number to be bigger for the Zerg player for sure. And that's how you win games. If it's even, it probably didn't go that well for you. So, nice job. Good scrappy PvZ, though. That was really fantastically well played by both players. If this hatchery dies, does SOS stay in the game? He doesn't have the resources to rebuild down here, unfortunately. He doesn't really have the army to defend it either. I mean, these Archons are dead. There's really no saving them. But maybe if the Stalkers have been able to focus the hatch and then pulled back. But then there's Lings. You know what? I'm going to defer to SOS here. He was in trouble. He knew it. And he tapped out to live and fight another day. So let's move on to the second game of our sneaky twofer here between Serral and SOS. Hit that like button again. I guess, does that unlike it? Probably. Just kidding. Don't hit it again. Only hit it once. We'll be right back. Game 2 of our sneaky twofer is here on World of Sleepers. Top right-hand corner is the Red Zerg player, Serral. And bottom left, we've got SOS. All right, man. SOS gave Serral everything he could handle. Delaying the 3rd base. Delaying the 4th base. Almost sniping the 4th base. Killing a lot of drones. But the 3rd base defense left something to be desired. Man, if he could have held off those Banelings and Zerglings at the 3rd base, I kind of feel like that game would still be going on. Base defense, you guys. How do we do it? Anyway, welcome to the channel. If this is your first time here, it maybe is. Oh, hang on. Hold on. SOS is going for a forge. I was like, boring, 1 gate expand. No! Not at all. Oh, the music gets more epic, too. Listen to it. The music knows when something is happening. Overlord sees it. Now the question is this a fake out or is this a real cannon rush? Right? That's our question. And at this point, how much do you respond to it as a Zerg player? You check to see, are there any cannons coming up back here? We're looking around. We're making sure it's not easy for the probe to get back here and throw up cannons. I kind of like this, actually. Oh, snap. There's a cannon on the way. Pull more drone. Actually, he already pulled drones. He pulled drones a while ago. He's trying to make sure. Oh, snap. Is this too late? Do you cancel your natural base? What would Serral do? He cancels the natural base. The cannons, as a result, sort of get canceled. And he's going to try to throw up a base here. I don't... So the pool's going to finish. So the problem is, if you're trying to cannon this, there will be Lings out to shut it down. This is a problem. This cannon right here is a bit of an issue. I don't know. I mean, SOS is expanding behind it, so delaying the natural might just be all he was going for here. Oh, did he just... Nuh-uh. Okay, he saw the cancel. Yeah, attempted third base down here. No, that's not happening. All right, so SOS just basically did the most economical delay on Serral that he could right there. He wasn't really super committed to it by the fact that he expanded. I think, obviously... Well, no, he was pretty obvious about it. He wasn't trying to hide this cannon rush. He couldn't anyway. There was an overlord up here, so if you try to put a cannon, like a pylon here, hiding it, right, then it would have been seen anyway. So this was not an attempted, I'm going to kill Serral cannon rush. Oh, hold on. Get up the... Nope, don't get up the ramp. Get up the ramp so you can kill the queen. Not happening. So Ling's cruising across the map. But there's a cannon, and there's going to be a wall here, and there's a zealot on the way, and the Lings aren't really going to be able to accomplish anything at all. Yeah, see, wabba, 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 and wabba. Serral uncharacteristically losing those two Lings for nothing. You got to keep those Lings alive, man. You never knew when those two Lings will be important against somebody like SOS. Queen desperately stabbing away. How does she shoot with ground? Is she just like... Is she throwing spines or spitting them out of her mouth? It's hard to tell, isn't it? I don't know. I can't tell. I can't look at it. It's confusing my brain. So Serral's natural base is up, but SOS's natural base is also up, which is not good for our Zerg player right now. Taking a third at his natural, which is hilarious. I'm going to call this his natural because I'll get confused otherwise. So right now, Serral on 3 bases, kind of more of a 2 1/4 base style scenario. SOS happily sitting on 2. He's got 31 workers to 27 of Serral's. He has a beautiful advantage that way. And so far, I think this has gone according to plan for SOS. But I said that in the last game, and SOS was not able to win. Just because you start good does not mean you will win the match. That is trademarked Falcon Paladin. So don't try to use it at all. Maybe I'll put it on a shirt. By the way, there is a store, falconpaladin.store. You checked it out? You should! It's a great place. Oh, the drones sacrificing their own lives to keep the adept in place. 2 drones died, but it could have been a lot worse. Kept that adept off the streets. Oracle on the way. Okay, Oracle's name is Demosthenes, for he encouraged political unity and reform in order to resist the evil Terran and Zerg oppressors. I like it. Demosthenes. He was a Greek philosopher, I believe, if my memory of my history minor in college serves me. Yes, I minored in history in college. I feel like having a historical perspective on the world is a good thing to have. And I minored because if you major in history, what are you going to do with it? Teach? Write books? I can't do those things. I didn't want to do those things. So I minored and majored in communications because it was more financially viable. Lol. Boy, was that not more financially viable. Anyway, Queen in a Spore here. Nope. Safety Spore's part of the play here for Serral thus far. He learned his lesson from the last game, I would imagine. SOS throwing a 1-3-1-3-1-3 into chat. I'm pretty sure that was unintentional. Overlord scouts in. It is going to be Resonating Glaives again out of SOS. And a Rotorn coming up here too. But yeah, I actually got a degree in communications. Print journalism emphasis. Look how smart I am. Worked in the print journalism industry, actually, for a few years. And then after the 3rd year in a row of getting no raises and all of my benefits taken away, I was like, this is not working. And I got back into tech, which is what I did to get myself through college. And that's where I have been ever since. And it has been a more financially viable solution for sure. So that's just how the economy is today. Unfortunately, I'd rather be using my communications degree, but here we are. I guess I am using my communications degree, sort of. The YouTube channel is kind of communications-y. It is. It's not print communications, mind you. But it is. There was a couple classes on radio broadcasting and stuff. Podcasting wasn't really super a thing at the time. I did start listening to podcasts in like 2007, 2008, though, because my favorite sports writer at the time, Bill Simmons, started a podcast. And I was like, hell yeah, let's go for more Bill Simmons. And then he stopped writing entirely, and now he only does podcasts, which is a weird turn. Anyway, Adepts are here. They have Resonating Glaives. Third base is not going to happen for SOS. Unfortunately, Serral, though, on 3 bases. Serral getting those roaches out. Again, I don't see this Adept Harass doing a whole lot to kill him, which it can be very scary. If Zerg players are not prepared for this, they will die to this. It happens. But today, I don't know. Serral's not dying to this, is what I'm trying to tell you right now. I mean, he knows there's not a third base. He's been scouting around for one. This is 2 base. This is aggressive. This is make all the roaches now and stop making worker-style stuff. And so far, he's accomplishing a lot. He's going for Glio Reconstitution. He kills an Adept on this side of the map, which is awesome. These sentries, I'm not sure they can make it out here either with these lings around. The Adepts will fight against roaches if they outnumber the roach 10-1. But not when there are more roaches than that. They don't feel comfortable with that particular matchup. Still no third base allowed up here for SOS. And like I said, this is not easy to do. Serral is making this look easy. I get it. But it's kind of like the Serral versus Mech games I cast last month, right? It was Serral versus a Korean Terran player who's going mech, and Serral made it look silly. Just silly. Handled it well. He just abducted Thors and tanks into little lurker balls, using Vipers over and over again, and eventually the mech army was done. But then we saw other players make mech from Terran look stupidly strong by doing the wrong thing. And that's what it is. A lot of this just comes down to strategy and ability to execute it. Serral makes these Adept all-ins look weak in games like this because he scouts it, sees it coming, goes for Roaches and Ravagers, and calls it a day. SOS's third base is incredibly late. 8 minutes is far too late for him. He's going to try to hold this with a combination of an Immortal and a bunch of force fields, but it's 99 to 54 army supply, and I mean, Protoss is meant to hold armies at a disadvantage in army supply, but I mean, the Corrosive Biles are really good right now, and the army's just jumping right on top. The Stasis only catches 4 Zerglings, which is far fewer than SOS wanted to lose there. Yeah, the third base is done. I mean, at that point, SOS recognizes I don't have an army at this point. Cancel the third. This is bad. This is really bad for SOS, and I think it just comes down to he went for the Adept, the Resonating Glaives Adept thing. It didn't do hardly anything at all. He delayed his third base for it, or he got it denied, depending on your interpretation. And now it's just, I mean, look at this. Look at that income rate for the last 3 minutes or so, favoring Serral like crazy. His army supply is up. He's at 50 supply ahead of SOS right now. Look at the supply. As they always say, resources lost are actually more for SOS right now, which is bad. Remember how bad it is when a Protoss has equal resources lost to a Zerg? Well, when they have more than a Zerg, that's extra super size me bad. That's right. You heard me. Super size me. A little bit of a warp harassment here. Warp Prism getting into the main base. But, you know, just evacuating the drones. And bringing the Lings in, and I don't think any drones died there whatsoever. SOS still trying to get a third base up. But I don't know, like that army is still here, is the problem for SOS. Serral still has the massive army he had before. These Adepts are high ground harassing, which is hilarious. This is a rich Vespene Geyser, though. This low grounder here on World of Sleepers. So, actually, no, it's not. It's just a oneer. Wrong map. He took the one that only had 1 Vespene gas. Interesting. Whatever, it's cool. He's got a lot of Lings. Centrifugal Hooks on the way here. I think that might be when we go. When Centrifugal Hooks is done. Extended Thermal Lance on the way from SOS. I don't know if he's going to be able to use that. I'm telling you, Banelings are actually making hits here. The Force Fields, though. That second, third line of Force Fields. Really good. And trying to get on top of the sentries. Bam, bam. Thank you, ma'am. The sentries? I think they're all gone. The third base is gone again. And that's going to be it for SOS. There is no coming back from this at all. That Immortal's alive with 10 kills some way, but it doesn't matter. Serral takes it 2 games, 2-0 in our sneaky twofer here today. And Zerg fans rejoice. Let me tell you something. I know there are some games in the Katowice replay pack where Serral loses, okay? So I'm going to find some of those. I'm not going to tell you when I'm going to cast them, though. So you don't know. I'm just telling you, he doesn't win every single match, you guys. And spoiler alert, he doesn't win Katowice either. So, yes. Keep that in mind. If you're coming here and you're going to tell me that Serral is stupid overpowered, he's really good. He is really good, but he's not unstoppable, and he's not infallible, and he, in fact, does lose sometimes. So we'll get there. But yeah, end of the day, I mean, what it comes down to is the income here for the last 5 minutes hugely favored Serral because SOS at third base never happened. Resources lost 8,000 for SOS and 6,500 for Serral. It's mostly Lings that died. No Ravagers died in this game, which is really nice control from Serral. Yeah, 2 Immortals, all the Adepts, 17 Adepts. That third base never really came up for any length of time, and Serral is your winner in 10 minutes and 54 seconds. So that's going to be it for me today. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.